Manchester United urged to make unbelievable signing. There are realistic alternatives too. Ozil Young spoke out this week to talk about the dream signing for Manchester United, Marco Verratti. Quoted by the Mail, speaking to BBC 5 Live, United's former fullback felt the Euro 2020 winner will be the ideal long-term placement for Michael Carrick, a void the club have been unable to fill since his retirement in 2018. Young said, I was watching the PSG City game yesterday and I think Marco Verratti is the closest one and nobody's gone out to test the water to try to sign him. I think he will be an unbelievable signing for Manchester United. There is no denying our need for a holding midfielder, and Verratti is one of the few players that can control every game he plays. Despite having Neymar, Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappe, it is Verratti who often stand out for PSG and is their unsung hero. In the European Championship final, despite going off very early in extra time, Verratti had amassed 133 touches. Only Giorgio Chiellini 134 and Leonardo Bonucci 141, but who played the full 120 minutes had more who scored. No player created as many chances as Verratti too in the final either. It was the biggest stage in world football, but the 28-year-old was calmness personified. Although Verratti's almost faultless in position, only Declan Rice 6 won more tackles than Verratti 5, which highlights his ability to sniff out danger and put in a challenge to win the ball back for his team. The Italian doesn't shirk a physical battle and is always on hand over himself as a passing option for a teammate. He is man for the big occasion, and if he stays with decision, then Mauricio Pochettino's side stand a great chance of finally winning the Champions League. Having Verratti is like watching an orchestra. He never panics and is always in control. He has unbelievable self-belief and has the vision to punish anything. He will take the ball in any situation, no matter how many opposing players are around him. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said about wanting his players to instill the United ethos into their games, risk and hard work. It is no disrespect to Fred and Scott McTominay. They both work incredibly hard, but neither have the passing range or technical qualities Verratti possesses, but few do. Some would say he is too small for the Premier League and he will get killed, but you have got to get near him first. Verratti is that good that he could have easily slotted into Barcelona's great Pep Guardiola team alongside Xavi, Andreas Iniesta and Sergio Busquets. United need that player who can gel the rest of the team together. We have a formidable forward line and our best defense for years, but in the middle we look lost. Paul Pogba's our future hangs in the balance, but having the Frenchman and Bruno Fernandes alongside Verratti could make us unstoppable. Verratti is that man, but playing for the wealth of Paris Saint-Germain and having certain agent called Mino Raiola makes any potential deal border on the impossible. But you never know, Verratti could well win the Champions League for the first time with PSG decision and then won a new challenge. If that was the case, then just like Ashley Young said, we have got to go and test the water to try to sign him, because he could transform this team from potential challengers to heavy favorites. With it being ever difficult that we actually could manage to price away Verratti, we have taken a look at players who play in a similar style and could potentially be considerably cheaper. Nicolo Barella is more of an attacking midfielder than his Italian teammate, but given Inter Milan's financial struggles, which saw them have to part ways with Achraf Hakimi and Romelu Lukaku this summer, further sales may have to be sanctioned. The 24-year-old has 1 goal and 5 assists from 7 Serie A matches this season. Barella may be more taking than Verratti, but he is equally industrious out of position. Speaking of clubs who are in financial disarray, Barcelona had a summer of torment, but they still have one of football's most talented prospects in Pedri. Although he is in the early stages of his career and may be reluctant to leave. If things get worse at the new camp, United and many other clubs could well test Barcelona's resolve regarding Pedri. Similar to Verratti, the 18-year-old can do it all in midfield and is destined to be a star for the next 15 years. Ajax's ability to continue to produce world-class homegrown talent will never waver, and the latest to come off the conveyor belt is Arjen Gravenberch. With the jury still out on whether Tony Van de Beek's move from Amsterdam to Old Trafford will prove a success, we will be forgiven for entering any negotiation with the Dutch giants with a sense of trepidation. But at 19 years old and 6 feet 2 inches, Gravenberch looks set to follow in the footsteps of Van de Beek, Frankie de Jong and Matic Delight, and secure a big money move. The big problem is the final one is agent Spinarella. Across 8 Eredivisie games this season, the Netherlands international is averaging winning 1.9 tackles per game and 1.8 real duels per game. Who scored? Is also averaging 2.1 shots, 1.6 key passes and 3.3 dribbles per game. He's a youngster brimming with talent who can do both sides of the game. With his current contract set to expire in June 2023, Ajax could be tempted to cash in on their price asset. Verratti will be the dream, but there are other talented central midfield options that will significantly improve United, and the clubs will be stretching themselves to try and find the right player to solve an ongoing dilemma.